Hey everybody, Caleb here. Today we've got this Collings acoustic guitar. This is the last of the lot that was super dry. This one was so dry it ended up with one big crack right down the middle here on the top. These were so dry, and you're going to see that as we get going here, but yeah, this crack is what's drawing our attention first. We'll get these strings pulled off so we can go on. Now that I got the strings off, we need to make sure that the bridge isn't lifting, so I'm just running this piece of paper along the bridge. If the corner of the paper goes under, I'll know that the bridge is lifting, but it seems to be pretty good, which is fortunate. It means I don't have to pull the bridge off. Yeah, this crack is pretty bad, though. Just making sure it's, all the way open. Yeah, it's not great. But I think you can really start to see here how dry this fretboard is and the bridge is. Every part of this guitar is just so dry. You can tell by the kind of dull color of the fretboard and the bridge that it's very dry. So the first thing we'll do is actually start to give it a little bit of wipe down and give it some good fretboard oil to help start rehydrating. The fretboard needs it, and the bridge needs it too. They're both just so dry. We've been keeping humidipacks in these guitars and keeping them in the cases to help them kind of reacclimate. They just, where they were sat for so long, did not do them any good, but we can finally start to rectify some of that. So I'm just wiping it down with some fretboard oil and then wiping off any excess and letting that sit. I'm just going to put the pins back in here so I don't lose them. Keeps everything together. And then we can start to take a look at the crack. I like to put tape down on both sides of the cracks on the top just to help kind of identify where they are a little easier, and it helps when it's time to make a mess, not make quite so big a mess. So I'm just putting this tape down on each side of the crack so that we can get going on fixing it. Now that we've got that tape on there, I'm going to give this thing a little rub down with some water to hopefully kind of open up the... it's really to help the glue water down a little bit to help fill that crack. Because the next thing we're going to do is start putting some glue down. And I'm pretty much just going to kind of splotch it on the top and then push it into the hole. I'll kind of flex the crack to help pump it in. It tends to really help get it in there. We'll try and clean up any mess we've got now. Makes it a little easier later. And then we'll throw some clamps on there. I'll want both sideways pressure on this and top-down pressure on this. So I'll have to get some long clamps that go all the way across, like this guy right here. I'll get another one yet, but we'll start with this one. And then I'm going to want to put some weight on top as well to help kind of push it down. Between the two, you should really be closing cracks. So hopefully this will do just what we need it to do. Once we get some weight on these cracks and some clamping pressure, I'll let them sit overnight at least to try and get them closed. And then we can start talking about a cleat for the inside. This one, with the single crack, shouldn't need more than maybe a cleat, especially because there's some braces in there. We should be kind of re-gluing with squeezing some glue in there, but we'll try to put a cleat in there. So it sat overnight, I pulled the clamps off, and now we're going to put a cleat in there. I don't have any clamps here that are going to reach all the way back in there, so I'm just going to end up doing this with a magnet. I'll basically just tape this magnet to the top so it doesn't move. And then I've got a washer taped to the back of my my cleat so that it'll all kind of clamp in there together. My cleat is a really nice piece of spruce with the grain running the opposite of the top, so it won't split along the same crack again. We'll give that a few hours to dry, and we can move on. Along with being exceptionally dry, this guitar was exceptionally dusty, so I'm giving the headstock a wipe down here. And then after that, we'll do something that I don't show on camera very often, but I do it pretty frequently. Lubricate the nut. And you can already see here, once we start to see that first fret, the fretboard's dry again. You can see how dull it looks. It soaked up all that oil from the first treatment, and now it's needing it again. So as soon as we get that nut lubricated, we can probably need to re-oil the fretboard again. So we'll do that again. Wipe off any excess from the lubricating of the nut. Help the strings glide better. So we'll give this one more wipe down. You can see here how dry it looks. It's so dry. We'll give this one more wipe down before we string her up and play her. Hope you enjoyed watching this Collings guitar setup. It's really just bringing a dry guitar back to life. That's what we're trying to do here. You can see already how much better it looks once you get that fretboard oiled. If you're interested in this guitar, it would make a really great player. It is for sale at butlermusic.com. You know, it's never going to be a great looker with that crack, but it is a phenomenal player. And, you know, I think it would make somebody a really good player guitar. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this little rehydration of this Collings. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.